A Brentwood family doesn't let the Paris terrorist attacks spoil their vacation to the City of Lights.
Donald Trump on the stump in Williamson County.
And not one, but two state titles for the Bruins. Channel 9 News starts now. Good afternoon, Brentwood High School. I'm Andrew Fisher.
And I'm Caitlin Alexander. Here's what's making news.
It was the deadliest attack in Paris since World War II. 129 people were killed as terrorists set off bombs and opened fire on November 13th. As WBHS 9's Abby Williams reports, the attacks were felt as far away as Brentwood.
It's been a stressful few weeks for Joel Williams and his family. In late September, they booked a trip to Paris, but on November 13th, terrorists struck the French capital, leading Williams to wonder if a European vacation was safe.
I was a little hesitant, but we did watch the news and we monitored the situation as best we could, and then felt it was probably as safe now as ever to come.
But now, with a massive police presence, Paris may be the safest place in the world.
I think security has been increased all over the city. I think immediately the response was that there were about 1,500 military which were deployed, and there was about 7,000 police agents on the street.
In Paris, I'm Abby Williams, WBHS 9 News.
A Brentwood dentist is honoring the victims in his own way. Dr. David Snodgrass normally decks his Franklin Road home out for the holidays. But this year, he is using blue, white, and red lights to remember the 129 killed and 350 wounded. Blue, white, and red are the colors of the French flag. A Brentwood pastor is helping another community heal. David Sublime works at Brentwood United Methodist Church. This summer, he traveled to Charleston, South Carolina, the site of a mass killing at Emmanuel AME Church. 9 people were shot to death during a Bible study. Sublime describes what it was like to be there just days after the massacre.
When it happened, as a church, what we did, we said we're going to do 3 things. We're going to pray. We're going to do something, an act of love, and we were going to send a powerful message, somewhat saying, this is not the best of humanity. So we did pray that day in church. We had all the names of the people whose lives had been taken read out during worship, and a bell was sounded after every name was announced. We had a prayer shawl put at the altar for every person whose life had been taken. Then our members wrote cards for the families of those who had lost their lives.
The Brentwood community was overwhelming in their desire to reach out to the families of the victims, sending over 1,000 cards of sympathy and support.
He's loud, proud, and leading in all the presidential campaigns. Donald Trump recently brought his campaign to the factory at Franklin. Our Rosie Gunger was there.
On Saturday, the Franklin factory was pumped for Donald Trump. Trump's political rally was opened by the Gatlin brothers and a prayer from Reverend Wilson, while many stood outside in the rain.
Maybe thousands, right? Thousands. Outside, and I was just doing a lot of selfies. The woman said, I've been here, Mr. Trump, in the rain for 4 hours. Could I have a selfie? And my people said, no, no, no. I said, absolutely you can.
Rosalie Gunger, WBHS 9 News.
Still to come, we'll stroke across Percy Priest Lake with our BHS rowing team.
But first, find out what caused a group of people to freeze at the Nashville Farmers Market.
You're watching WBHS 9 News.
With the attacks on Paris and strings of shootings across the U.S., the world sure could use a little kindness. WBHS 9's Kira Lee has more on how people in Nashville are doing their part.
Keep the smile on your face.
On a seemingly normal Sunday afternoon at the Nashville Farmers Market, a group of people dressed in orange paused, frozen in different acts of kindness.
At first I didn't know what it was, I thought, and then I couldn't figure out where the music was coming from. But I was kind of fascinated with them.
Little did the surprised marketgoers know, this freeze mob was going on worldwide. Kira Lee, WBHS 9 News.
It's been a mild start to the fall.
We're going to send it over to Caleb Howard with a look at your forecast.
Thanks, Caitlin. Winter doesn't begin for a couple of weeks, but it's certainly been warm. And the National Weather Service predicts a warmer than normal December for Middle Tennessee, and the forecast bears that out. Expect mild temperatures and little to no chance of rain heading into the weekend. Starting back on Monday, we see temperatures rise up into the upper 50s and peak at around 59 degrees on Tuesday. So to sum it up, Andrew and Caitlin, no coats needed.
A successful start to the year for Bruins athletics.
The boys golf team won its first state title, getting a little revenge against Knoxville Farragut, which beat Brentwood in the finals last year. Let's send it over to sports director Reed Smith with a look at the other titles Brentwood's won.
Coach Campbell is used to success as Brentwood's head volleyball coach, and this year was no different for the Lady Bruins.
For the Brentwood Bruins volleyball team, it's a celebration seen over and over and over, and over and over and over, and over and over, and yes, over and over again. Reed Smith, WVHS 9 Sports.
Be versatile. It's a message staffers at CMT kept saying over and over to Brentwood High TV and film students on a recent field trip. I was one of the 33 juniors and seniors who got to tour the Country Music Television studios. We went inside an editing suite and found out it can take all day to produce a 15-second commercial. We met CMT host Cody Allen, who in addition to anchoring Hot 20 Country Countdown, is also on the radio every night. He and others kept telling us, there are no small jobs in broadcasting. Learn how to do a little bit of everything, both in front of and behind the camera. We leave you today with video from Trench Warfare.
Thank you for joining us.